and just they wouldn't be kept away from this game and away from helping their teammates. So that's what this thing's all about. I think that led to some of our clunkiness or inefficiencies on offense. Inefficiencies isn't even the right word. Our operating issues of not having people get reps that they normally would, especially at some key positions. But really proud of the way everybody fought through. I thought JT Daniels was a complete warrior today. Obviously, we set the bar so high and have such high hopes and expectations every time he plays. And this will never go down as his best game on the stat sheet, but it's one of his best games ever because of what he fought through to get there and because he stayed on the field through it all. A lot of cool themes in this game, with the Houston Connect stuff and the throwback to the Oilers and a lot of really cool things that I think are on a quarterback sneak and just finding a way, and some big time contributions by some guys that maybe aren't household names in the Owl families yet. Guys like Davion Hook, guys like Chase Jenkins that jumped in there. Two of the guys that scored touchdowns for us on offense, Chase and Landon Ransom goals, as they were here in January. They're true freshmen that just got a little extra time at Rice University, and their contributions were huge tonight. And then you got some vets like Gabe Taylor, Chris Conti jumped in there and made play after play all day long. So really proud of a lot of people on this team, and proud that we found a way to overcome adversity and get this done. With that, I'll open up for any questions. I think I just did. We had a lot of communication issues. We had a quarterback that didn't practice at all this week. But put it on me. It's my job. So, but if you want to know why it happened, that's why. There were some communication things that didn't go the right way. And at the end of the day, I'm responsible for them.
Mike, you had a lot of, break but not bend or bend but not break. Within going these drives, and you stop them at the end. When you had that issue at the goal line, you stop them on the fourth and goal. What was that part of, that warrior mentality, or just not giving up and all the substitutes and stuff you had to go through?
Yeah, we talk all the time. They're not in till they're in. And that's a big deal. It's college football, man. They got great players that are on scholarship, and they're going to make some plays too. And that's why we've got to find a way to keep them out of that zone. And when we can do it and we can believe, that's what Coach Settle spoke to our team today. And that's what he said. He asked, do you believe? And when you can answer yes, and I believe in myself, and I believe in my training, and I believe in my teammates, really cool things can happen, like that goal line stand. I thought that goal line stand was phenomenal.
It says about your team that, maybe years past it felt like you had to push every button right to come away with the win. Admittedly, not play your best game, still fun good.
It beat a really good, a great program, won 8 games last year, a well-coached operation. It says a lot, right? I think it says that we're a lot more talented, and these guys are putting a lot of work in these systems, so we have a bigger margin for error. I don't want to use it ever again if I could help it, but we do.
And I know we've talked about playing multiple quarterbacks in the past, made the decision to do that today. What went into it? How do you think it went?
Yeah, I think what went into it was we weren't sure when we were putting this game plan together on Sunday and Monday who our starting quarterback would be. So with that being said, we had to put one in place that we thought Chase could be successful executing. And then as the week went on and it became clear that we thought JT would be that warrior and find a way to play today, we changed just a few things. But JT was able to operate. He was able to do the mental part of his process the same way as he would on a normal week, albeit with 6 or 8 hours of treatment mixed in there. But yeah, he got to where he needed to be mentally. We tweaked a few things. Even last night, Coach Tui added a few more things in the red zone and a few more empty things for him. But that's why we made the decision to play 2 quarterbacks, is because we were starting the week unsure of who the heck it would be. No, go ahead.
JT finished about 40% completions, 90 total yards of offense for that thing. What we see from JT in the second half?
Yeah, honestly, we knew we were really close on a few things in the first half too. And either somebody had found a way to secure a catch, or there was the second play of the game. I think JT hits 99 out of 100 times and it's a touchdown, and we're celebrating really early in that game and we didn't hit it. So I kind of knew there was a lot of meat on the bone, and I just wanted to see us kind of keep chopping in that second half, give him time to work. And we knew he would do his thing. And I think Chuck Shelby had like basically 187 yards in the second half, so basically double what he did in the first.
Is there any one thing that you can point to these two, I mean, that you had that really just say stood out because of everything, all the nuance that y'all go through, you gotta do the standard that you really still come out.
Yeah, I think it's guts, right? Like it's what you train for all summer. I mean, my halftime speech was not elaborate. It was like, well, here we are again. Like we have a 1 point lead at halftime, just like last week. We didn't play very good in the first half, just like last week. Now, what are we going to do? What are we going to do individually and collectively to make sure we come back in this locker room and it's a victorious locker room and we're playing our music and making it look like a club instead of being all sad faced and talking about what could have been. And these guys made that decision. And again, especially the defense. Not always perfect, but those 4 fourth down stops are wonderful.
You don't get football opportunity here, HK is so important. And I'm not the significance of the fact that, you know, you're now 32 overall. The difference is 3-2, being good for then being 1-1 in conference, it's supposed to be 0-2.
It is. And I think 1-1 in the conference might be the biggest one, right? Because as I was looking at it, it doesn't look like there's ever been 2 undefeated teams in the American Conference Championship game. So that means everything we've talked about, everything we dream of is still right there. And it's in the palm of our hand. We're going to have to take it week by week and find a way week by week. But those dreams are still very much alive. I mean, there's been a 2-loss team that made the championship and a 3-loss team. But once again, we don't want to use that leeway or slack up if we don't have to. We'd much rather just find a way to go 1-0 every week. And I'm having a good time with this team. But again, this film won't be fun either. There's going to be so many things to correct on it. But it does feel better with a win. My wife looks better after a win. Everything's better after a win.
Mention this, you know, you got to speculate from some of the other teams too. Yeah, how does it look like you still a team after the field in those uniforms?
I'll tell you, I thought Chris Snell, our equipment manager, did a heck of a job putting these together. I really couldn't be more proud to represent that throwback and that connection to when they played in our stadium. I talked to Wade Phillips earlier today, and asked him if he'd mind if I wore the hat, because that's what I remember. That's the Love You Blue I remember is his daddy on the sidelines. His dad's mom would be mad at him for wearing it indoors right now. I remember he would never do that, so forgive me. But I just think like the Houston connection between Rice University and this great city, the connections football wise to guys like Bum Phillips and Bear Bryant and the conversations they had and the difference they made that are still in everyday conversations in the football realm right now. Like, I think we need to do a great job making sure I mean, even the legend that Wade is in a lot of ways, you know, holy cow. But Bum invented what we call the 7 technique, like inside shade on a tight end, him and Coach Bryant talking about it. And like, there's just so many things like that are just incredible. And so again, we got this unbelievable city. I thought the video we released, our department released, Coco released, was amazing. You know, connecting the food and Scarface and everything.
What's that feel like?
Well, there's a lot of people, and Landon would be the first one to tell you this. There's a lot of people that did their jobs on that one, right? Like I saw a good kick out block by the slot receiver. I saw Clay serve and smoke his guy, and Landon turned up and did the rest. But he had to have people get him started, and that's exactly what happened today. But the really cool thing is, as I mentioned, you know, Chase and Landon getting those 2 touchdowns. Really thankful for Admissions and Rice for letting us bring those guys in January and getting their feet wet so they were comfortable enough to make a difference tonight.
You talked about the block communication because you guys weren't quite sync time, but then again, you don't win this game, you don't get just touchdowns.
And you know what? Like, we were a little off tonight with a lot of things. We were on those ones that we were able to get enough points on the board to win the game, which ultimately is the job of every offense. But we were far from sharp tonight, in my opinion. I think that's what I'm going to feel when I watch the film too.
When it came down to those final plays and the final moments, guys like Chique and Davion who are not first teamers, and aren't part of the game on those quick plays of offense. Kind of what went into getting those guys on the field? I mean, how often were you that they can make the play?
Gabe could probably verify this, but I believe we were dime. And so that's why some of those guys were jumping out on the field and getting those opportunities. Davion could have ended it a little sooner with that one that was in his hands, and I wish he would. It would be better for my stress levels. But again, he was in the right place. He read it perfectly and at least broke it up. And then, Chique, like, yeah. That when those guys that poured so much into this program had that success. So that was really cool for me.
You seen it get harder than Josh Beardsley did in that, right?
That was real. Yeah, that was real. That will make the team meeting on Monday. I promise you. Thank you all for covering us, man. I hope you enjoyed the jerseys and all the throwback stuff as much as we did. Go Owls.
Don't let them in. Don't let them in. Like, this team is so resilient. No matter how many first downs they keep getting off of third downs situations, this team always fights back. It don't matter the situation. And I just love this team. But fourth down stops in the fourth quarter, that was amazing. Our mindset was just different this year. Way past from last year's. We just came in and fought today.
So I'm like, you told me this week that I want to get back, not lose.
I'm tired of losing. Like, we give people the chance and options to disrespect us just because we lose too much. And people don't understand, like, we beat ourselves. 70% of the time we beat ourselves. And that's off coverage, mental errors. But one thing about this defense is that defense and offense, we're going to respond back.
What's like at the beginning of the third quarter, and you feel like giving up 290 yards of offense and 9 points.
For real? That's the mindset. Like I said, we don't even realize that. We just don't want them to score. That was our mindset. We just don't want them to score. They did 290. Man, good job defense.
Talk about your mindset before those fourth down plays. What's it feel like after you make that stop on the fourth and goal there every goal line? What does it feel like to you as a player for the team?
You can just feel that momentum shift back to our Rice football. And then the offense responded, quick 7 points. And that's how it is. We just got to keep doing that. If we can find a way to just keep getting stops and giving the ball to offense, they're going to respond too. They're going to keep answering and just go back and forth, back and forth.
This year being different, one of the different teams having a team on the other side of what's it like? I think
Thank God.
days with the bad days, we can turn it over and go watch it.
Man, we're so confident. We're so confident. Like, 3 and out, or if they eventually score, it's like offense going to respond. Like last year's, it's like offense. Dang, is the defense going to get stopped? Are they going to get a 3 and out, or a pick, or a forced fumble? It's like vice versa. If the offense going to score, oh my goodness, 3 and out again. This is different this year. Like, our mindset, it's like, we're going to go score right now. Offense, we got your back. Defense, we got your back. So that's how it is this year. Oh yeah, I seen him coming too. I seen him coming. I didn't even look. I soon he passed the ball to I don't know what wide receiver. I just saw Josh Pierce. I knew Josh Pierce was gonna make the play.
And then you guys got back.
That's the forced fumble strip. We're going out the way. But man, thank you, Coach Smith, for calling blitzes for me now. I never got the blitz last year. I barely got the blitz last year, but man, my first sack, it was amazing. But I'm not satisfied now. I'm not satisfied until we keep winning.
Thank you. How are you feeling right now? I saw you kind of looking down, so.
Yeah, not great, but it's just following, big game, not 100% healthy, but we'll be good.
Then kind of talking through the shift from the first half to the second, just a couple throws, offense, wasn't driving, and then second half, 400 yards.
Yeah, sometimes it is that way where the offense just has to settle down. It is traditionally more difficult for an Coach Bloom talks about it all the time. Offense is constructive, defense is destructive. Offensively, it can be a challenge sometimes to get out of your own way and get 11 guys going the same way, and sometimes it'll be just that way where one guy wrong one play, one guy wrong the next play. Now it's 3rd and long, and you're off the field. So it looks like a terrible half for the offense, but we just had to fix up on that in the second half. And as soon as we did, I think we moved it really well in terms of yardage and 7 points in the red zone.
And then obviously not 100%. Where would you gauge you at today?
I have no idea. Just went out and played.
Would you kind of feel that you were pretty sure that you're gonna be able to go?
Around like kickoff. Yeah.
What's that?
Really good. Since fall camp, me and Tilly have talked about it at length, multiple times, like see what Rawson's doing in practice. And then he gets a real chance last week, plays phenomenal, gets another real chance this week because he earned it, and he plays phenomenally again. What about him is not like a NFL like prototype receiver. He's 6'5", super fast, in and out of breaks, and now he's catching everything. Yeah, it was an adjustment. Basically trying not to use it for the most part, which isn't like it's a change, but it's not like a super significant crazy change that I had to get adjusted to. Once we did, and once I felt good moving, then it was completely fine, out of the question. But there's a little bit of confidence and feeling good on the ankle. It's just as far as I know. No, it wasn't broken. No, the whole leg broken. Yeah, no, it's not. All good.
The game is up there talking about how the defense has so much faith in you guys. You know, you're gonna they make the stop, you're gonna go out and score. What's it like on your end, knowing that you've got those guys waiting, just going out there and doing their job, that you can depend on them to get the stops?
Yeah, it's a complimentary football. Neil Brown, head coach at West Virginia last year, talked about it all the time. I really hadn't heard it before. And it was super like good insight. And you can once you like understand it and learn about it, like it really makes a lot of sense and you can see it. When offense, special teams, and defense feel like a complementary unit, your confidence will absolutely grow. Like when they're on the field and when they get a stop and you understand, like if our defense has them backed up and they punt 3 and out, we understand average of 4.5 points for everyone in the country on the next drive following a backed up punt. Like we understand things like that and play off each other, complementary. Yeah, I didn't think it would be as much of I didn't think it would be a very significant deal. I wouldn't say it was a super significant deal, but I did notice like coming in with my first throws since USF being today. So that was definitely something I had to adjust to. And that's probably why it took a quarter or two to really get us moving. But yeah, that's all you have, right? You got a week of film and meetings and all that, but none of it translates. None of it is ever the same as actually doing the thing physically. I love when we get chasing. Yeah. For some reason they don't think I can run like Chase. But yeah, I'd like I've never had an issue with being like dual quarterback, 2 quarterback systems. They can be difficult if you end up falling behind and you go like the only time it's ever been difficult is like other team's offense, really long drive, the other guy goes long drive, then the other offense goes really long drive. It's like I haven't played in 30 minutes. But I love being able to be multiple. Pajovo, Luke. I can't imagine any other team in the country has more Wildcat quarterbacks than us.
And then after the Texas loss, it stings, but it's not a conference game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
How big was it after dropping last week? Getting that first time?
Yeah, well, that's just realistically, or pretty much every conference is gonna have a one-loss team in a conference championship game. So when you lose you lose the first one, like it puts a lot of pressure on you. But yeah, like nothing in terms of like the goals for every team in America's season to win the conference championship. I think ours are totally alive and look great, and we fought together for a really tough win today. We just got to continue to do the same thing. Yeah, I had an idea. I felt very confident that I was going to go, but I didn't know for 100% certain.